Thank you for joining us for another episode of Edmonton Real Estate Today. I am your host, LeRoy Warden, and today I have with me Sheryl Stevens of RE/MAX Real Estate and Bill Briggs, the broker of RE/MAX Real Estate. Sheryl and Bill, welcome and good to see you guys.
Good morning.
And Bill, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
January stats are out, hot off the press, and the board reported the average price of single-family homes as $425. Condos are at $201, and duplexes at $348. What are your thoughts on the average prices and the start of this year?
Well, I know from my point of view, I thought the market was getting a little busier, the phone was ringing a little bit more showings were booked, so it was quite exciting.
Yes.
But I know when you look at the numbers, they're not necessarily on our side as much.
I'm going to say that the weather forecaster had more to do with it than the economists. We did have some pretty cold weather there, and although anybody that comes out in that cold weather is pretty serious, there aren't a lot that want to come out of their warm houses and their fireplaces to go look at homes. I'm not surprised at the numbers. I think the average price it reflects something positive, actually. When the market is as slow as it has been, you would expect maybe prices to go down. But the average single-family price stayed very steady, and I'm very impressed with that. I think it shows true stability in our marketplace.
So the other stats in terms of how long things are taking to sell, we had the average days on market being 73 days for single-family homes, 83 for condos, and 85 for duplexes. You want to share your thoughts about days on market and how
Sure.
long things are taking to sell?
Well, I've always had the attitude that you got to be a little careful about the days on market and telling your clients about that, because it does reflect the amount of time it took for the houses that sold.
Right.
There are a number of houses, of course, that don't sell and are on the market for a significantly longer time. So we just have to be a little careful about that and be realistic about it. And I think it's important to talk about it.
Yes.
Because it does show that if you're serious about selling your house within a certain period of time, you've got to price it right. You've got to be with a real estate professional who knows what they're doing in terms of marketing. And so all of the things have to fall in place in order to fit into that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would agree, I think it really comes down to that, timeline gives them some sense of how fast some homes are selling. Again, I know we've discussed it before where it doesn't always show us the true number because we don't know if that house was on the market before and they've relisted it, so therefore the average price point looks lower. But I think it's important to have that guide of going, well, if the average house is taking, for condos 83 days to sell, well then I know I need to price it really well and make sure it shows really, really well.
So in January, there were 1,622 new listings, and the sales was 580. And the ending inventory was at 4,491, making the first month of 2020 a buyer's market. Does that set the tone for the coming months?
I think it probably does. It's always difficult to predict the future, but there's no question that our listing inventory traditionally increases during the spring. So I think you could probably expect there to be more homes on the market as the spring comes and the weather improves. That's just traditional. But there are so many things going on in the marketplace that are affecting what we're doing now. And sincerely, we're hoping that things like pipeline announcements are going to improve people's attitudes,
Right.
and perhaps get more people out looking at buying as well. So it's really, really difficult to predict exactly what's going to happen in 2020.
Yes.
There are so many factors involved. I think we can expect a market to be quite similar to last year. I don't expect any huge fluctuations one way or the other, but the listing inventory will probably increase. So I guess a buyer's market is not a bad way to describe it.
What are your thoughts in terms of where you think it might go or these numbers may take us?
Well, you know what, I for sure was shocked at those numbers and I had to double check because I feel like the phones have been ringing more, so I was really being much more optimistic with the month.
Yes.
So to think that only 580 homes sold in January, it definitely sort of, again, changes my perception of the market. But I think it's really important to know that if the buyers are serious and they're out there with a realtor looking, there's homes out there for them to buy. Like you said, there's over 4,000 homes available. So if they're really wanting to be in the market, there's really good product out there. They just have to get out there and look.
And then it's just another good reason to look towards a real estate professional to help you out and sort all those things out.
Absolutely.
So there is a lot of choice out there, and you are going to need some help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whether you're selling or buying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are there any further details that you guys want to add regarding the market so that people out there that would be on the cusp of putting their home on the market, or someone who is out there just starting out looking, is there any things that you guys would want to share with a buyer or a seller?
You've got to remember that if you're buying and selling in the same marketplace, now is the time to do it. It doesn't matter when that is.
Right.
If you're selling a home and waiting for your price to go up, so is the one you're going to purchase. So it's a good time to get together again with your real estate professional and look, because there is lots of choice out there. I don't think there's going to be huge fluctuations in market prices during the course of the year. However, there may be some positive things that will improve people's attitudes and get them out there looking. So.
Right.
So if you want the choice that you've got now, or the choice we think there's going to be in the spring with the number of listings that are out there, it is time to start thinking about it, getting your affairs in order, and talking to a real estate professional.
So Bill, you were just saying the other day you were dealing with the multiple offer situation.
Yeah.
So I think the key is that even in a slower market like we have, there is pockets of the city that are really well desired.
Yeah.
So you're going to have those multiple offer situations. So that's why I really think it's important for people to, number one, know what's happening in that community, because it will change community by community. So we have to make sure that we're not just flagging the whole city as a buyer's market.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone out there truly appreciates your input on what's happening out in the marketplace, and I want to thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts with us.
It's a pleasure as always.
All right, good
Yeah.
to
Thank
see you
you.
guys again.
Thanks, LeRoy.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome.